Hi everyone, it's Linda from LindaZ in Arlington Heights, Illinois, and ready for the Christmas spirit. We are doing some holiday fun projects that I hope will make sense to you, and you're going to go home and try it. Even if you're the Scrooge or the bah humbug, some of us don't get into holiday too much. Even if you're that, then make an ugly Christmas sweater. We've really had fun doing this. I probably should tell you the little story. Nikki suggested that we would do something with to get into people get into the Christmas spirit with embroidery. So I said, well, there's this beautiful new cave machine and it's got the new smart drive. So why don't I do something on it? I went to look. I do have a lot of Christmas and holiday designs that I put on my shirts and sweaters, but I didn't have one that I really thought was real ugly. So I sent my husband over to Goodwill. It was quite a story. He comes back with all these sweaters. I have no idea what in fact, I should start donating them to people. And most of them already had designs on, and they were ugly. I mean, they were really bad. So I hope he's not watching this video because he was trying to really do a good deed here. This one actually turned out real nice. It's let's see, do you want me to go back with it? Okay, and it's got the little holly, and this one was actually done on the luminaire. It's got the little poinsettia and the little things, but on the back, this was the gingerbread. It's not too bad. I mean, that's the ugly part of it, I think, but not too bad. And then this just got it. I thought the sweater was really pretty fun. So I want to show you how to do a couple of these things, and then you can choose the colors, the designs that you like, so it really won't be ugly. Or you can put all kinds of little foo-foo stuff around and make it what you want. And I have a whole bunch of them to show you because I think it'll give you some idea of what we're doing. And along the way, you'll learn, I hope, a couple of things about stabilizers and designs. So I'm going to take the one that I did. This is actually a cardigan. I have it on the ironing board. This has got a real cute little Santa Claus. Those of you that like Santa, I'm a Santa fan. I think they're so fun. You can see I've done him already on the back, and it says just Merry Christmas with a little wreath around and the little Santa. And the front of this, because I usually wear this, it's all plain. This was actually from, I think it was from J. Jill or some, a real cute little, simple little cardigan that was solid. I didn't put anything on the front because many times I'll do what I'm wearing. I have just a plain black shirt, and then I have this little, what I think is just a fun gingerbread house. And I take the Swarovski crystals, which I mentioned in one of my other videos. They're getting harder and harder to find. We still have some. I would grab them whenever you find them because we don't know. We're hoping we're going to get them again, but right now apparently they're not making them. But in the back of this shirt, and I don't know, Nick, if you want to get that too, this really is a strange, I would call this the ugly Christmas one. And I actually made that one. So I was doing this with the idea of just getting all kinds of ideas. I wanted to show stabilizer, and I was just really putting anything on there. And I'm not going to do that on the front. The front's going to have a real pretty little design. I'm going to use the new smart drive. So those of you that have this machine, this happens to be a 770 Bernina Cave. Those of you that have it, you can kind of follow along with me. What I did, let me show you what we're going to do. I just love the cover on this. This is, I think, one of the cutest covers that they have made. It's called Home for the Holidays. And every single design on here, you can see on the back here, has some really, really wonderful designs. They're not real big. Some of them are a little bigger. Some are, fit in a 4x4 hoop, 5x7. What I love about the designs is that they're all simple and they're all really very trendy, or something that probably anybody would wear, even a guy. So the discs are coming with the CD. And how would you like to get? I think it's $75. How would you like to get this free? Free is always good, right? Well, one of the ways you can do this is that you can come into our store and you can buy $75 worth of OESD product, which is, I'm using some of their stabilizers. We have both Floriani and the OESD stabilizers, and they both make pretty similar products. So we can always show you which one is similar to the one that I'm using. If I'm using an OESD, I'll show you the Floriani too, or if I'm using a Floriani, I'll show you the OESD. So if you buy that, or say you don't need a stabilizer, you're already stacked up, you bought that package, we have those what we call our basic package of stabilizers. And if you don't know about it, I would highly recommend you buy it. For those of you that have smaller machines like 5x7s to 4x4, buy the basic package that's the small tubes. It's just a great way to save money. It's all discounted. It's got all your basic stabilizers. I think there's 6 in each package that you use on a constant basis. That if you're doing good embroidery, you will always use. This isn't something that's going to sit in your closet. This is something you're going to use. If you have one of the bigger machines, you're going to have the 20-inch hoops. You want the package that's got the big ones. Now, some of my smaller machine people buy the 20-inch too, and they cut it in half, and then they find that they can get a little bit more out of it. But it's up to you what your budget is. They've got budgets for the small machines, and they have a package, and they're all discounted for the big. So you buy that, and enough of that one of those, and you'll get one of these free. Also, you can buy any of the OESD threads, and they make beautiful threads. I did on this green design here, I used the yen met. I tell you, I was using a lot of different types of metallic threads, and metallic threads can really break. There's no question. It doesn't matter how good your machine is. I had to, on one of my threads, I won't tell you what it is, but I'm not even sure which one it was. I had to literally, and it had 15,000 stitches on it for this one. It wasn't on this one. I had to literally hold the thread. I had a thread net on it. That's one of the things you can always do when you're doing metallics. I had to literally hold it to keep it from twisting. Now, and there's all kinds of different methods, like this is a cross-wound spool right here that I'm working on. So you could have it this way. If you don't have a cross-wound thread, and it's a cone thread, you definitely want one of these. This is your thread stand that it will come up and come over here. And I had this. I had the net on it, and it was, you want to put it over here on the other side. And I literally had to, because from here going into the machine, just that short period, all the thread would twist. And I wanted to use this particular one because it was the only color that I had. So I literally had to hold it. It doesn't go through real fast. And the other thing you want to do is you want to slow the speed down on your machine. You don't want it sewing. Say your machine sews at 1050, 1050 stitches per minute. It's way too fast. You'll break thread all the time. Slow it down. Another little tip for metallic, because I use a lot of metallics on these sweaters, I would change the needle to a 90. And I like the 90 Metallica or Metafill. It just seems to work better. I don't usually break needles. I'll tell you when you're going to break a needle. And it's always the, whose fault it is, what causes it. It's the person, between the machine and the chair. That's me. And it really is. It's always me. I did break 3 needles. I very seldom break needles because I was in a hurry. And, when that happens, you forget about some of the things you teach. And what I was doing, I had 75 I had the 75 embroidery needle in my machine. And what was happening is that the thread was getting twisted even around here, and it would get a knot. And so when that thread can't go through, what happens? The needle pulls and bam, it breaks. Or maybe the fabric might be too thick. I didn't want to open up the seam on this green sweater because it's a round neck, it's a crew neck, and it's very difficult to get into a crew neck if you if you don't have a side opening. Without doing perfect stick or stable stick. That's OESD's product. I didn't use that on here. I actually hooped most of these I hooped. When I start using something called Perfect Stick or Stable Stick, I will always do it because it's a hard to get into area. But because this was such a thick, it's an Angora sweater, it's just a really pretty sweater. And I figured all the sweaters he bought, I hate to tell you how much he paid, was worth it for the one good one he got. So I wasn't going to put Perfect Stick on that. I wanted to actually hoop the sweater because when you can hoop a design, it's going to stay better. It's going to be more stable. The other thing and the other little tips, I know I'm throwing a lot at you, but these are recordable and you can go back and pause it and listen to it again. But these are real key little tips and I'm sharing with you. The one thing that I would recommend when you're doing something like this is um, fusible, fusible, fusible stabilizer. You have to. Anytime you're using a knit, anytime you're using fusible is always good for stabilizer. But in this particular time, like the sweater I have on, this is a knit shirt that I have on. This is an Angora sweater. There's another t-shirt back here. This is actually, and I'm going to show you a right and wrong way. This is actually a cardigan that I've done with a wreath on the back. And again, fusible, fusible, fusible if you can. And I hooped all of these garments. So what I want to encourage you to do is do what I did for some of these. Go to Goodwill. It's a good place. They use your donations and everything. And buy yourself a couple of sweaters. But here's the other tip. Don't send your husband. Go yourself because I just thought, oh, it'd be so easy if he'd come back and it was okay. But go yourself because you know what you're looking for. You want more of a plain sweater. You don't want all this jazz stuff on it already unless you find something you like and then you just want to add to it. So I hope that's giving a little bit of a tip. I'm going to actually do a sweater in our Sew Club. Those of you that have joined our Sew Club, I think it would be really fun for you to come and see this step by step. I'm not going to spend all that time going through it today, but if you are members of our Sew Club, I encourage you to join it because then that's where I'm going to go through the step by step by step to show you what stabilizer, when you put it on, how you do it, and to actually do the sewing embroidery. Encourage you to come in, go on our website. There's a little butterfly up there that you can always order directly through us to. There's a little flyer. I think maybe if you guys can put this on so everybody sees it. And that way you'll be able to order some of the designs that I've shown here today. So have a wonderful holiday season. I'll be back with some other things next week. In the meantime, I'd love to know what you've done, if you've actually made some. Okay? All right. Get out there and sew. See you next week. Thanks, everybody.